Miss Rowe here. I hope all of you had an amazing spring break and I miss seeing all of you. So for today's project for art, we have something that I like to call alphabet animals. So you can take basically any letter and I'm going to show you how you can turn it into an animal of your choice or one of the animals that I have an example of. So, for example, there is an I right here, just like that, and then you can turn it into a nice little mouse. So I have a dog here, I have a little bear here, sees all of its teeth, and then I have a cat right here, of course, and then this nice shape of an S. So, if you guys remember in terms of coloring doing the fireworks project that we did, where again you're basically making something burst out, you can do a similar coloring on this as well. You can use either crayons, color pencils, whatever you have. Again, you can do the burst effect, or if you want to, you can do more of a zigzag pattern using your different kinds of lines that we learned about also. So just keep that in mind. Also attached to this video, you're going to see this nice sheet that's basically going to give you a little guide in case you need some ideas for what to do. So again, there's going to be a cat, a dog, a bear or hamster, and then also a little mouse example. So again, I have ears, tails, teeth/mouths, and eyes as well. So I'll have that linked down there in case you need to reference that, okay? And so you can always ask your parents to help you out finding that if you can't find it. One last thing, really important, is that if you have any work that you made, whether it was in a previous week or just something that you think is really cool, I would absolutely love for you to send it to me in an email. My goal is to maybe create a little virtual art show or art video of all the things that you guys are making at the end of this year. So I've gotten a few things, but if you could send me whatever you make today, or if you've made something from a previous week, then I would absolutely love to have your parents email that to me in a picture. So again, my email is going to be down in the description, so keep that in mind. And yeah, I'm excited to show you some alphabet animals. Okay, great, thanks. Stay tuned. So I wanted to show you guys these a little bit closer. So this first one is a mouse and it's made from an I, and you can see that because the I is in thick black marker. This one is an A, which is a dog, and of course you can again tell it's an A because of the thick black A lines. This is a bear with very sharp teeth made from an E, and this is also a cat, which is made from an S. So again, notice how you can see the letters very clearly in every single one. So what you're going to need for this project is a paper, an eraser, and a pencil, and a thick black marker. You're also going to want to think about what you want to use to color your piece. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use it both color pencils and crayons, but it's really up to you with whatever you have at home to be able to use. Begin with your paper and your pencil and your eraser. So again, you can either draw a huge letter on the whole page or use a half page. And you could even turn the page if you want to. It's whatever is up to you and feels the most comfortable. I would suggest using the first letter of your first name or the first letter of your last name, but it can be any letter that you want. I chose an R because of, well, Miss Rowe, so R. If you're having trouble drawing your letter, you feel free to ask your parent or somebody else with you to just help you draw that and make it nice and big or whatever size that you want. So the next thing that you're going to want to do is grab your black marker and you're just going to want to outline over your letter. And again, you do the letter in pencil first because you want to make sure that you're happy with how the letter looks. So go ahead and outline that in black marker, and then you're going to want to go ahead and maybe make those lines a little bit thicker so they stand out more. So just go over it a second time. When you're happy with how thick your letter looks, then the next thing you want to do is move on to adding in some of the features to make it look like an animal. So if you look at the sheet, then you'll be able to see that there are different eyes to choose from, different teeth and mouths to choose from, different tails and different ears. Of course, you can draw other ones that are not on that list as well, but those are just to give you some ideas. I would suggest starting with the eyes first. So again, there's a lot of different places that you could put the eyes. So you could put the eyes, again, maybe smack in the middle at the top. You could put the eyes maybe below, towards the bottom. You could put them maybe even in the middle. It really varies depending on what letter that you're going to do. I decided to draw on some sharp eyes. And of course, you don't have to draw 3 different eyes. I just wanted to show you some different options of where you could draw them. So the next thing are ears. So again, you could draw ears at the very top. You could draw them on the sides of your letter. It's really up to you where you want to put any of the different features. So the next is the tail. So again, you could put the tail on maybe the left side. You could put it on the right side towards the bottom. You could even put the tail in the middle, coming out from the middle. It's really, again, it's up to you where you want to put it. It's just where you think it would look best. But again, if you aren't really sure about where you want to put some of these features, then I would again suggest using pencil first, so you can always erase in case you don't like it. So I also added in some different mouths just to show you where you could put the mouths. So this is another R that I made because the last one I really just wanted to show you as an example of where you could put different features. So this is going to be my final one. So I decided that I want to make a cat, so I really want to use some sharp eyes. So I decided to draw my sharp eyes right in the middle towards the very top of where the hole in my R is. So again, you want to draw 2 little football shapes if you want to use those eyes. And then you want to draw a really thin little oval in the middle of them. Remember that as you're doing this, you can always go back in and use my sheet to reference maybe what eyes or ears or tails or mouths that you want to use. So again, I used the sharp eyes, that was in my example, and then I'm thinking about doing the cat/dog mouth. So again, I basically want to make a 3 and then add another little U in there to make it look like a little tongue, and I put a little line in the middle also. And I also decided I wanted to go in and add a tail, like a cat. And then I want to add in some nice little cat ears. So again, I'm referencing the sheet every step of the way, but you are free to come up with whatever animal or whatever look you want. I mean, it doesn't even have to be an animal. It could really even be like a monster or a creature if that's really what you would like. So now the next step, very important, is that wherever there is an opening and not an enclosed space, you want to just lightly draw a line that closes up that gap. So for my example, the gap in the R is at the very bottom, but on this S, it's on the side. So again, you just want to make sure that you are enclosing that space with a pencil. So again, with the I, it was just on the sides, just like that. And with the E, it was just one straight line going all the way down to enclose that space. And with the A, it was the same as the R, where you just were closing up the bottom. So keep that in mind. So this next step is optional. But if you would like, you could grab your black marker again or a black pen, and you can just go ahead and go over those features that you just made, just so they stand out a little bit more, and it can help it look a little bit neater than just a pencil line as well. Now, this is important. Do not outline the line that you use to enclose your letter. Leave that as just a pencil line. Again, even if you go over it though, in pen, not the biggest deal, not the end of the world. And if you would like, you can also go ahead and erase all of your lines from before as well, in case you can see them through the pen. Now you want to think about how to color in your alphabet animal. So there's not a wrong or right way to do this necessarily. It's really just as long as you like it. I chose to use crayons just because I feel like sometimes it makes blending a little bit easier. But I decided to go in and fill in the cat's eyes with green because I know a lot of cats that have green eyes. My own cat has green eyes. So I decided to fill that in. And then I also used pink and filled that in for the tongue and a little bit of the ears. But again, the color choices are completely up to you of what you want to do. I also decided to go in and use my black marker to just quickly color in the little pupils of my cat's eyes. Now with crayons, I just chose whatever color I just felt like at the time. I'm going to do that sort of burst effect, sort of like we did with the fireworks project, where basically I'm just, coloring back and forth pretty quickly, almost in like a line. And after I'm done, I just go ahead and grab a new color and I just start going ahead and making sure that I outline along any features that I've drawn on, just to make sure I don't accidentally color on top of them, because you want to be careful. And again, take your time with this part. Again, of course, you don't have to color the way I colored, but if you do decide to do that, then I would, again, just take your time, make sure that you're outlining along all the different areas that you don't want to accidentally go over first before you start going in and coloring in pretty hard with that line. And again, I just used random colors or whatever colors I thought would look nice next to one another. You could use crayons to color in the entire thing if you want. I just decided to show you how you could also use colored pencils as well, with a slightly different pattern. So in this one, I'm also just choosing whatever colors I feel like using at the time. And what I'm going to show you is a different pattern. So you could do a zigzag pattern like the dog, or you could do this nice wavy pattern like the mouse. So I decided to choose the wavy pattern. So I decided to draw a line first, just a nice wavy line. And again, I'm stopping at that nice pencil line where it is enclosing the bottom of my R. And then I'm coloring in carefully. So again, you don't want to press too hard because you don't want to break the pencil, but you also don't want to go so light that you can barely see it. But again, just take your time, try to make sure that you're filling in all the white areas. You can always go back over and layer on another little bit of a colored pencil later on. After that line's done, I just choose another color. I draw my wavy line and I just carefully fill it in. And remember to make sure that you're stopping at that bottom pencil line. So again, it's going to make it look nice and neat in the end if you keep doing that. So I just go ahead and I just fill in all the rest of it. Now, moving on, you want to think about coloring in the tail and the ears or any other parts that you have. So one idea that you could do, I went back to crayons, is that you could use multiple colors in the tail or the ears or a different part. So I went ahead and used some nice orange in there, and then I grabbed another color, which I'd already used in the cat previously, purple. And again, I'm doing like a same idea with the firework burst. And then I chose yellow to just finish it all off. And I just thought that made it look a little bit cooler than just maybe having one color for the tail. But even if you did do one color for the tail, it could turn out great. I chose to do just one color for the ears, just because the ears aren't very large to begin with. So I just chose nice light blue, which is also a color that I'd already used in the cat. And I just went ahead, filled that all in, made sure there were no white spaces. After I felt like I was done coloring everything, I just decided to go back in and double check, make sure there weren't any tiny little white spaces that would be a little bit annoying. So I just filled in a few extra ones just to double check. But then voila, you're finished with your alphabet animal. As another reminder, I would absolutely love to see what you came up with. So if you could take a picture of what you came up with and have your parents email it to me, that would be fantastic. Thank you.